If you have no idea how to play drums and no idea how to program drums, but want awesome drums in your song, this video is for you. I'm going to show you a few simple controls that you can use to put awesome drums in your songs fast with zero drumming experience required. Let's go. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is go up here to track and hit show arrangement track. And I've already added my arrangement sections like this verse and this chorus. But all you need to do that is click plus and you'll be able to add a section. And the reason you do that is because it helps inform the drummer, the AI drummer basically, what part of the song it's in so that it can better cater beats and parts to the song. So once you have your song labeled, the next thing that you're going to want to do is just right click here in your tracks and hit new drummer track. And I like having drums at the top, so I'm going to drag that to the top here. And you can see it's already generated drum parts. So let's hit play here. So to get drums into your song, it is literally that easy, but we don't want to just leave exactly what the drummer pulls up because it won't necessarily work perfectly for the song. So the first section that I want you to look at here is this drummer. And right now we have Kyle selected. He's a pop rock drummer, but you can select from a whole bunch of kind of different genres. So let's say hard rock. What would hard rock sound like? Obviously not suited to the style of music that I have here, but this is a good place to start, just to kind of get a feel for what kind of drums you want. I'm going to go back to Kyle here, because that feels much more in tune with kind of what I want out of this song. The next thing that you're going to want to look at is this sounds section here, and all of these are different drum kits. So right now we have the SoCal kit selected, but maybe we want to hit the East Bay kit. What does the East Bay kit sound like? Or Detroit Garage. Or Retro Rock. I happen to like the Bluebird sound a lot, and I think this particular kit is going to work for this song, so I want to listen to that here. Yeah, that feels vibey for me. So next, we're going to mix how loud each drum is. So here we have a knob for the kick, a knob for the snare, a knob for the toms. So I'm just going to go through and listen and kind of get a balance of the kit that I like. So let's go from the top of this intro here. Fairly high. Okay, so that's a rough mix. We can always go back and change that. Now, the next thing is the AI has just generated some drums and it's given us a beat, which is great, but what if we want to change what that beat sounds like? The next thing that you can do is notice it's split into sections already. This is a good start because I actually intended for the opening of this song to not have any drums in it, just guitar, but it's programmed drums right over top, even over top of the part that doesn't even have any guitar. It's cool, but it's not what I'm looking for, so I'm just going to select that section and hit delete. Then I'm going to listen to how the guitar and everything else comes in. Okay, great. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything. And on the keyboard, I'm going to hit E, which brings up our editing window. And now we can kind of get into the nitty-gritty of what the drummer is playing. So this is a really, really, really cool tool. And notice that I have all of the regions selected. So I'm currently editing everything that the drummer has played. There's kind of 4 quadrants that we can balance between: loud, soft, complex, and simple. And For this particular song, I think I want a fairly simple feel and kind of soft. It's like an acoustic key. There's a drum kit in it, but it's not really like a big rock sound. So I'm just going to play through and move this kind of to simple and soft and listen to how that changes the kit. You'll notice the notes just changed. So if I can drag it back over here, and we've changed kind of how the notes look. I'm going to drag it back to simple and soft, and it's changed again. So let's have a listen to see how that's changed what the drummer's playing. Okay, I want it a little more complex. This hi-hat groove is great for the verse, but I don't want to play the hi-hat groove in the intro because I want to kind of come down out of like a bigger sound in the intro into the hi-hat groove in the verse. So notice, and this is one of the benefits of labeling your session with this arrangement track, there's already an intro section here. So I can select just the intro section, and you'll notice the kick, the snare, and the hi-hat are lit up. I'm going to select, instead of the hi-hat, the cymbals, and listen to what that does. The drummer's now going to play the cymbals instead of the hi-hat in this particular groove. It's a little more wide open, feels good. Now we're on the hi-hat, because if you click this one, the hi-hat's selected. Okay, the next thing is in the middle of this intro, there's a drum fill. I don't want that. I kind of just want to play all the way through, and that is this fills dial here. So I'm going to turn the fills all the way off for this particular region, and that's going to get rid of the fill in the middle here. Which is good, but now there was a fill here that has also disappeared that I kind of want to retain. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select a bar here, and I'm going to hit Command-T on the keyboard, and now this is its own separate region, and I'm going to turn the fill on here. So now we've got a fill. It's too busy for me though. I'm going to back that off and see what that sounds like. Let's go more simple on just the fill. Still not it for me. Let's try that. It's a little better. Let's go back to simple. See what that sounds like. That's nice. So this verse is going to have the same problem. It's probably going to play a fill here, halfway through the verse. We don't want that. So I'm going to turn the fills off in this verse groove, and anywhere that I want to fill, I'm just going to snip that region and build a fill in that region. Okay, so for the pre-chorus, it's moved me over to a ride groove. I don't like that. I'm going to turn off the cymbal and go to the hi-hat, and I'm going to take the snare drum out and see what happens if we play just a kick drum and a snare drum groove here. Awesome. I'm just going to turn that fill off and do the same thing that we did before. Cut one bar here with Command T and create a fill with this so that I can manipulate it a little bit more. Okay. So let's go simple. Let's turn these toms off. It's okay. It's getting there. Notice I just dragged this across because I wanted the beat to go longer. And so now it's just like a half bar or whatever. This would be a half bar that the fill is. Still not the right fill for me though. Let's go even simpler. That's nicer. And then let's go a little bit loud because it's a fill. Oh, that changed the fill. Oh no, there we go. Sweet. Okay, so again, we're going to turn fills off. We don't need a fill here. So the next thing that you can do, there's different kick and snare patterns that you can select. So it's playing one kick and snare pattern here, but we can manipulate that a little bit just by selecting this slider here. So let's listen to a couple different options for the chorus. So a little halftime feel. I'm going to go back to 1 here and then just mess with this again to try to see if I can get what I'm looking for. And that's where I finished the song. So we're just going to get rid of this outro section here because it's just a ring out. The last thing that I wanted to cover is the percussion tool. So right above the drum kit, you can add in a clap, a shaker, or a tambourine. I think this course would benefit really nicely from a tambourine. And you can select which pattern the tambourine plays here. So let's listen to just the default #1 pattern. Let's have a little more. So that feels really nice. Can we do the shaker too? No, you can only do only one at a time. But let's go over to mix here. I want a little more of that. So it really is that simple. Dive in with the GarageBand Drummer, play around, mess around. In particular, I like this tool right here. I think it's really, really great. And you can get great sounds super, super quickly. So have fun, go make some dope music, and I'll see you in the next one.